Right now at 6, some local businesses sound off on what happens when the federal government stops making pennies.
And we've got a beautiful start to the day, some patchy fog out there, and otherwise a nice Friday. We'll look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, 1 in 5 children continue to face food insecurity in southwest Missouri. We'll take a look at what's being done to combat the issue.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday here in the 4 states.
Yes.
Another week under our belt. How's that?
I know, the last full week of May.
Yeah,
the last week of May at all.
Tomorrow's the last whole day. So next week starts the first full week of June and the unofficial start to summer on June 1st. So it's going to be great, except for Saturday, and we got storms next week. And we'll go over all of that with you in a minute. But first, you got to get through Friday in order to get to the weekend, and it's looking fantastic. Here comes the sun. Just a few clouds out there, which you can actually see just on top of that sunrise, so not bad. From our camera downtown Pittsburgh, but our camera 20th in range line in Joplin, looking back to the south, looking pretty good as well, but we do have some dense fog advisories for Oklahoma and Arkansas through 9 o'clock this morning, and that is, of course, because we have some dense fog. Cassville now, take a look at this, reporting 0 visibility. Bentonville's at 0.2 of a mile, so all but 0. Anderson, Mount Vernon, visibility is reduced. We've seen them improve now. Veneta, you're still down to 6 miles. Grove, you're improving as well. But if you are traveling, let's say on 60 east or even parts of I-44 or I-49 south, you need to be cautious because we've got some very dense fog across parts of Berry and eastern Newton-McDonald counties, southern Lawrence County, most of Benton County, and southern Delaware County. So, again, low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them, and just watch out there, especially for rapidly changing visibility conditions as well. Once we get through the fog, which should be gone by 8 o'clock this morning, we've got just a few clouds, we've got warm temperatures, and we've got a nice northwesterly breeze, which means it won't be too bad, even though we're going to be warmer. It's not going to feel all that awful out there for us today. However, as I mentioned about Saturday, we do now have, and I'm telling you, I know it's the most distressing news because we had a wet weekend for the holiday weekend. We are looking at the possibility. We have a level 1 out of 5 risk for some strong to low grade severe storms in our western counties and scattered storms beyond that. And this is going to be as we roll into tomorrow afternoon and evening. And like I said, we're going to break that down for you here in a few more minutes. We're at 53 right now in Joplin, 54 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, temperatures look like this. Lamar, Monette, Neosho, all sitting at 50 is some of the cooler spots out there, and we've got some 54s. 54s as warm as I see, but we got a number of those. We're all in the low to mid 50s this morning, so still below average, but not awful, but pretty chilly. I mean, all things considered, we're almost to June, and we're starting in the low 50s, so that's a bit of a chilly start for us. Mostly clear skies, so just a handful of clouds here and there. Temperatures, most of us eventually mid-70s, so low 60s by 9, near 70 by noon, mid-70s this afternoon. Our southern counties, some upper 70s, not out of the question, with a northwest breeze, again, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So we got our storm chances tomorrow. We've got those storm chances we've got to watch next week, and we'll break down all those details for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Authorities respond to a car crash on Kafer Road yesterday. According to witnesses, the mail carrier lost control, hydroplaned, and flipped over. The daughter of the driver confirmed her mother was transported to an area hospital for evaluation. A rollover crash alerted first responders in Jasper County near Asbury around 6 a.m. yesterday. A Pontiac Grand Am traveling west swerved to avoid hitting an animal on Baseline Boulevard near County Road 255. Now, that swerve resulted in the driver losing control and going off the road, overturning multiple times into the north side of the road. Asbury and Tri-Cities Fire, along with Jasper County deputies and Met's ambulance, responded. The 22-year-old driver from Springfield was transported to Mercy, Pittsburgh. There are no further updates on her condition. Well, warmer and drier weather could send more boaters and fishermen to the lake this weekend. On Table Rock, they'll face floating and unseen dangers in the water. Marina operators can still rent boats, but not jet ski rentals at Cape Fair. All the floating and underway debris is making it too dangerous to put them on the water. Boaters say take it slow and be aware of the damage limbs could cause to your vessel. People who work on the dock say they're thankful the weather damage isn't as bad this year as it was last year.
Behind me, a dock was wooden last year, so it was a lot lighter than the rest of our other docks, which are concrete. So when we had a storm come through pretty suddenly, it flipped this dock, so about halfway through, it was all flipped over, upside down in the water.
Now, they have since fixed that dock, and now crews are just working on picking up floating limbs from the water. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, big changes are coming to the way we spend our change. The U.S. Treasury has announced it will stop manufacturing pennies starting early 2026. According to the U.S. Mint, it now costs nearly 4 times more than a penny's value just to mint and distribute it. Now, we spoke with a local coin collector from In God We Trust LLC in Minda Mines, who says while it makes sense to stop making sense, that doesn't mean the penny will vanish completely.
So I'm encouraging people to recirculate their modern American coinage, particularly when they do transactions through the window of the car, when you pull up to the coffee shop or to the fast food place. Pay for those items with loose change. Not only how they balance their till at the end of the evening, it's how people get tips.
Now, according to Newsweek, due to the cost of zinc, the government lost over $85 million in 2024 by producing about 3 billion pennies. Now, throughout the year, students who may be experiencing food insecurity at home can count on getting meals at school. But what about during summer break? KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on local efforts to make sure no child has to go hungry.
A recent report from Feeding America shows that 1 in 5 children continue to face hunger and food insecurity in Southwest Missouri. It's an issue organizations like Ozark Food Harvest know all too well, and the summertime means more stress for families struggling.
So many of those kiddos that are living with families or that are in a part of families that are food insecure have access to the free and reduced lunch program for about 9 months out of the year. And so when the summer hits, suddenly it becomes very difficult for families to figure out how are we going to cover that meal gap for the next 3 months.
It's a question school districts in Southwest Missouri frequently see families struggle with. It's why summer meal programs can be an important resource.
Because this is another option for them if they don't have this at home, that at least for the 4 weeks that we provide summer school, they can eat every day, at least Monday through Friday, 2 meals a day.
Using federal grants, area school districts in Southwest Missouri can provide breakfast and lunch to children 18 and under to ensure no one will go hungry, even if school isn't in session.
We have here in Joplin, we have a pretty high food insecure population, so it's just another option for them. You know, there are other programs that do great things, but it's just another option for them. And plus, a lot of these kiddos are comfortable in their school.
Last summer, Joplin schools served more than 55,000 meals through their summer program. In Carthage, they averaged more than 1,200 a day.
That's why we want it to be nutritionally dense as much as possible, you know, with a few fun foods thrown in there. But this may be the only meals that they get.
These meals are open for all children in the community. They don't have to be attending summer school to be able to come and leave with a full stomach.
There are no income guidelines. It's just free to all.
They can just walk in from the street and just grab a meal.
But Ozark Food Harvest says the federal program offered through area school districts is just one food resource for families this summer. They also work with other organizations across the state to make sure children have access.
ozarksfoodharvest.org/need help. And that has a listing of all of the charities spread across our 28 county service areas. So that way folks can see whether it's a food pantry, a feeding site, or a summer school feeding site, what is closest to them so that way they can get access.
Reporting in Southwest Missouri, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now we have a list of participating programs where families can find summer meals on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump and Elon Musk are set to hold a joint news conference as tariffs make a comeback. And we have a warm and mostly sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Carl Junction Carnival. Topping Nation Watch this afternoon, President Donald Trump and Elon Musk are expected to hold a joint news conference on Musk's last day as a special government employee. CBS News has learned that 2 other DOJ staffers are also leaving. This as the president's reciprocal tariffs against other nations were restored by a federal appeals court just a day after they were temporarily blocked by another panel of judges. Jared Hill has more from New York.
Charged with slashing through the federal workforce. Ahead of his final day at DOJ, Elon Musk not completely cut out of government. President Donald Trump on social media posted, "Musk will always be with us, helping all the way."
The entire cabinet understands the need to cut government waste. Surely the mission of DOJ will continue.
White House officials have confirmed at least 2 other DOJ staffers are also leaving their posts. On his way out, Musk sat for an exclusive with CBS Sunday Morning. In the conversation airing this weekend, Musk acknowledged he and the current administration haven't always seen eye to eye.
I don't want to, speak out against the administration, but I don't want to. I also don't want to take responsibility for everything the administration is doing.
He didn't elaborate, but one issue Musk has reportedly broken with the White House over, President Trump's tariffs, which are now back on. Wednesday, the U.S. International Trade Court ruled that the president didn't have the authority to use an emergency powers law to impose his sweeping tariffs against nearly every country on the planet. 24 hours later, a federal appeals court temporarily halted that tariff pause, though not commenting on the merits of the case.
We're even more confident that we're going to win in the end.
The White House says so far the dueling rulings haven't affected trade talks.
You will see a cascade of new deals coming out in the near future.
President Trump on social media last night called on the Supreme Court to step in. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Well, today, President Trump is also scheduled to travel to Pennsylvania to tout a partnership deal between U.S. Steel and Japan-based Nippon Steel. And still to come, new research shows that patients with depression may have a higher risk of dementia. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Now, at 103 years old, this Ontarian's schedule is packed to the brim. Now, in addition to bowling every week, she plays ukulele, golfs, paints, and can still do aerobics. Alice Martinez has her story.
At 103 years old, Frances Wong is by far the most senior member of the San Gabriel Valley Nikkei Senior Bowling League.
I'm the oldest one in any place. Every place I'm the oldest.
But Wong holds her own, next to teammates like Rick Mark, who is 33 years younger.
It's just wonderful that she is still out here. Everybody says, I want to do that when I get that age.
Wong was born in downtown LA in 1922. She drove herself and lived on her own in Koreatown until 2022. Now Wong lives with her son Harry in Whittier and is keeping him very busy.
Always on the go. She's just free. I think that's the reason why she lives so long. Nothing bothers her.
Wong's tireless schedule would make anyone want to take a nap. Besides bowling every Friday at Bolero in Montebello, Wong plays ukulele on Saturdays and golfs 18 holes on Tuesdays. Watercoloring and aerobics are also on the agenda.
Yeah, I'm busy every day. I try to get up every day and do something worthwhile. I don't like to sit around. I like to keep moving.
And she moves with ease, keeping up with her great-grandchildren.
I don't feel like I'm 103. I just got good health. I just keep on plugging along.
Wong is not only the oldest bowler here, she's arguably the most cheerful, always laughing and having a good time. And that, she says, is better than getting a strike any day. Wong says her secret is not what she eats or drinks, but how she lives her life.
No stress and just go on, live and be happy.
Very cool. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
I got a beautiful sunrise out there from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Some patchy fog still out there as well. We'll talk about that, plus our rain chances Saturday and next week when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:22 on this Friday morning. We do have some dense fog advisories, Oklahoma and Arkansas through 9 o'clock this morning. However, we do have dense fog beyond that range. Along and south of I-44 is where the densest fog is. Cassville still reporting zero visibility. Bentonville at only 0.2 of a mile, so practically zero. And you see we've got dense fog across portions of Berry, southern Lawrence, eastern Newton McDonald, most of Benton County and southern Delaware County. So if you're traveling I-44 east, US 60 east, I-49 south, or if you're on 69 heading south into Delaware County, just be aware of the dense fog, rapidly changing visibility conditions as well. Low beams, not your high beams, and of course fog lights if you've got them. Now, tomorrow, and we do have a chance for some strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms. We have the isolated risk for hail and for damaging winds. We're talking maybe some quarter-size hail and possibly winds 50, 60 miles an hour, because what's changed is the pop-up storms that at least briefly were actually out of future track data. They stopped showing up for Saturday. Late last night into this morning, data started suggesting they're going to be there again, and it's also given us the hint that a couple of them could be a little stronger. For today, though, it's a great day to call in to work. I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm just saying, if you're a little under the weather today, a perfectly great day to be a little under the weather as we've got mostly clear skies, warmer temperatures out there, skies clearing overnight tonight. It's a fantastic day. As we head into Saturday, we're going to have clear skies, calm winds, cool temps again tonight. So overnight and early tomorrow morning, some patchy fog will be possible once again. The first half of our Saturday is fantastic, and we're actually getting close to 80 by noon tomorrow. But that high pressure down to our southeast that brings in the southerly breeze, brings in the warmer temperatures, brings in the moisture, could possibly be helping to fuel some of these storms. By noon, we're okay. But by about 2, 3 o'clock, especially initially here in the southeast Kansas, we're talking 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to really keep an eye to the sky because some of these storms, at least initially, could be strong to low-grade severe. Now, even though we don't have a severe risk east of that, there's still thunderstorms. And if you're planning to be outdoors, especially near water or near the trees, you want to keep an eye to the sky, make sure you've got a safe place to go because lightning is still dangerous, still deadly, whether the storm is severe or not. We've covered that 100 times, so you really have to remember that. Scattered storms, though, continue, it looks like, through the evening hours on our Saturday, and then possibly one more round of some showers and thunderstorms that'll push through late Saturday night before we eventually clear out as we head into our Sunday across the region, and we'll be warm yet again. So Saturday, first half of the day, great. Second half of the day, you got to watch it. But Sunday looking fantastic. Then we roll into next week, which we're going to get to in just a moment, and it does not look too fantastic, at least for a good portion of next week. Again, few clouds here and there. Got a beautiful sunrise already this morning. Upper 50s to start our day around 8 o'clock. Near 70 by 11 this morning. Rolling into the afternoon, our highs, most of us mid-70s, but down south, some upper 70s, not out of the question. It's going to be a beautiful day. And the other nice thing is it's a northwest breeze at 5 to 10. So at least at this point, it's not drawing in all that Gulf moisture, all that mugginess, and the things that make, even 75 degrees feel a little, It's not going to do that today. Like I said, though, this evening we go to clear skies. We'll have calm winds, cool temperatures, still a lot of moisture on the ground. So watch out for that patchy fog tonight into tomorrow. We're back into the low 50s. Now, next week. Here we go. Late Monday into Tuesday, possibly as early as late Monday into Tuesday morning. Scattered showers and storms, maybe a strong storm or two. That still is an iffy situation from Monday night into Tuesday, but we want to watch it. What we are getting pretty sure of at this point is as we roll into Tuesday afternoon and evening, we start to get showers and thunderstorms across the area. And again, the future track painting the area of where they could be, but we could get some strong to severe thunderstorms, especially to our western counties by Tuesday afternoon and evening. Those will continue overnight. As we head into our Wednesday, the first half of our Wednesday is dry, but clouds will begin to increase, and by late Wednesday evening and overnight into Thursday, shower and thunderstorm chances return, as do the possibility of some strong, possibly severe thunderstorms. That sticks with us all through the day Thursday night, and through our day on Friday as well. So it is a lot that we've got to keep an eye on as we roll into next week. Now, at this point, the only risk area we still have in our immediate zone is for Tuesday, and it hasn't changed much since yesterday. Still along and west of 69. But also remember, as we get closer, let's say this doesn't change, and this becomes that level 2 out of 5 risk, and then we get that level 1 out of 5 that'll border it on either side. So we want to watch this very closely as we roll into next week, because again, still at this point, all hazards are possible. Some other good news that hasn't changed yet is we're still looking at just large hail and damaging winds being the primary concerns with any storms that we see next week, but a lot we still want to monitor. So tomorrow again, afternoon, evening storms, 80s. As we head into next week, near 90 by next Tuesday, again, helping to kind of set the stage for those thunderstorm chances, and then those will continue with us through at least Friday, and again, some of those could be strong to severe. That's a quick check of your forecast. We're going to toss it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, most Americans have no idea that alcohol is linked to an increased risk of cancer. A study by the University of Texas found nearly 60% of adults were unaware or uncertain of a link. An estimated 75,000 cancer cases every year are associated with alcohol, and the study's authors say more needs to be done to raise public awareness. People with depression are more likely to develop dementia. A study by the University of Nottingham found a link between depression and dementia, and it also found depression later in life may even be an early warning sign of dementia. The study highlights that treating depression is critical to protecting brain health. And women who are self-employed tend to have better heart health than non-self-employed women. A study by UCLA found the reason for lower rates of heart disease among self-employed women may be a better balance of stress, time demands, and home responsibilities. Now, men didn't experience as significant a benefit from being self-employed, though the reasons why aren't clear. That's a look at Health Watch this morning. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Neosho tunes up for its annual spring concert series.
And we have got a very nice Friday ahead of us. We're going to take a look at that forecast. Also talk about some of the patchy fog coming up.
Plus, Vernon County saddles up for a rodeo and youth fair. We'll take you there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:32. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It's finally Friday, May the 30th. One more day in this month, and then the unofficial start to June.
You did it again. He did it yesterday, too.
Oh my gosh, the unofficial start to summer. June 1st is the official start to June. It's not the unofficial.
Maybe right now is the unofficial start to June as we're making our way.
Maybe so, because it's going to be a bit warmer today. So maybe that's it.
Well, we'll go with that. Yeah.
We'll run with that. And you've got to not run, but walk this morning and drive slowly because we do have some patchy fog out there. Our camera, downtown Pittsburgh, looks great. MoDOT camera, Joplin, 32nd and Range Line looks great. But we do have dense fog advisories, Ottawa, Delaware, Craig counties in Oklahoma, Benton County in Arkansas through 9 a.m. because we have dense fog, but we're seeing it outside of that zone. Take a look. Cassville still at 0 visibility. Bentonville, 0.2 of a mile, so all but 0. And you see these darker colors here. So we're talking southern Lawrence, most of Barry, eastern Newton, McDonald, most of Benton, and southern Delaware County. Some very dense fog. So if you're traveling I-44 east, I-49 south, US 60 east, or any other highway in between, low beams, not your high beams. Slow down. Give yourself time to get where you're going and watch out for those rapidly changing visibility conditions as well. Because the further south you get, start getting into those Ozark Mountains, those terrain changes. You may have some clear visibility up here. You drop down, all of a sudden your visibility is 0. So just be cautious this morning and be smart, be safe. Outside of that, once the fog burns off by 7, 8 o'clock this morning, it's going to be a beautiful day. Just a couple of clouds in the sky. Temperatures are going to warm up, and we're going to have a northwesterly breeze, so it's not talking muggy air and all that nasty stuff. It's going to be a very pleasant day for us. Unfortunately, tomorrow, our Saturday, we do have a chance of thunderstorms into the afternoon and evening, and for some of our western counties at this point, some of those could be strong to low-grade severe. We're going to break all that down for you here in just a few more minutes. Right now, it is a bit chilly. I mean, considering, again, we are almost in June, it is a bit chilly. 53 Joplin, 54 in Pittsburgh, and across the region, temperatures still holding low to mid-50s. Nobody's dropped into the 40s, so that's good. But again, for this time of year, a bit on the cool side. Into the afternoon we go. The majority of us mid-70s, so low 60s by 9, about 70 by noon, mid-70s for our highs this afternoon, as some of our southern counties could make it into the upper 70s. Today, a great day. Most of tomorrow, not bad. Sunday looks great. We'll talk about tomorrow's storm chances, though, and I'll take a look at those severe thunderstorm chances next week here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, students and families looking for information on student loans could head out to the Miami High School. Staff from the school helped with FAFSA and Oklahoma Promise applications yesterday. Students currently enrolled in the 11th grade must complete the Oklahoma Promise application by June 30th. Now, for those interested who missed yesterday's event, not to worry, the library is hosting another session today. Well, one sure sign that summer is just around the corner is the opening of community splash pads, pools, and aquatic centers. And today is the day for some area communities. Now, chillier temps postponed the opening of the Miami pool and splash pad, but both plan to open their doors today. The same goes for the Joplin Aquatic Center and Water Fun Centers in Pittsburgh. And Neosho struck a chord with its Big Spring Park Free concert series last night. Visitors enjoyed the orchestral folk stylings of Molly Healy. Now, due to the recent rains, last night's concert moved indoors to the Neosho Newton County Library. If the weather cooperates, the next concert will be outdoors at Big Spring Park and is set for June 21st. It's the Americana indie rock band Dandelion Heart. Well, saddle up for the rodeo in Vernon County. Yesterday was night one of rodeo at the Vernon County Fairgrounds. The rodeo will be going all weekend, and this weekend you can expect to see all the rodeo staples like team roping, breakaway, bronco riding, and yes, of course, bull riding as well. The rodeo begins every night at 8 p.m. for adults, and it will be $10 at the gate, and kids can get in for $8. Now, despite some unfavorable weather yesterday, the rodeo still went on as scheduled. And just a quick heads up to our viewers. Due to tower maintenance, KOAM TV, Fox, CW, and MeTV plans to temporarily be off the air today. We apologize for the interruption, and our engineers will have us back on the air as soon as the work is complete. You can continue to follow our news coverage at KOAMnewsnow.com or watch on the free KOAM Plus TV streaming app. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. It's Friday, and of course that means Shannon Becker joins us with his big three news stories of the week. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Carl Junction Carnival. Welcome back. We have Shannon Becker in the studio with his big three news stories of the week. Shannon, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Are you well?
I am. How about yourself?
Great.
Fantastic.
Let's take a look at the big three stories this week. What's happening where you live? Patrick Mahomes, you know, he bought some Whataburgers a couple of years ago down in Texas. He's from the Tyler, Texas area. So the last couple of weeks it's developed where he has now purchased about 16 Whataburgers here in the Kansas City, Springfield, and Joplin area. Webb City and Joplin. It's kind of cool, right?
How about that?
So this is the first Whataburger that opened in Joplin. It was about a year ago, in fact. Just some footage there of it. I found out about it because one of the people that worked there said, hey, we're going to start working for Patrick Mahomes soon. So that's kind of neat.
Well, I'm sure Whataburger has some new fans if they didn't have everyone here in town already.
Yeah, I know. It's really, really fun. Our number two story, KOAM News Now, Joplin News First. It was a water rescue. Missouri State Highway Patrol, Water Patrol, and the McDonald County Deputies Water Patrol were at the Cowskin Public Fishing Access. There was a report that someone had jumped off the bridge. It was just a passerby. It ended up being unfounded. We were there while they were on the water for about an hour and a half searching. If someone would have jumped off without a life preserver, that would be a bad news. They always remind us if you're going to be out on the water, calm or not, always wear that life jacket.
Certainly.
Our number one story, Joplin News First, live and local. Everyone's been talking about this.
Certainly so.
It's less than an hour from here
Yes.
is where he committed his murder and rape that sent him to prison for combined. I think it was about 50 years he will be spending in prison. Grant Harden was a short-time police chief in Gateway, Arkansas. He was convicted of his crimes in Bentonville in court there.
Right.
So he has family victims of his family live in Missouri.
Okay,
because
yes.
you're just talking, it's
Of
like 8
course.
miles away from Gateway.
Such a scary
Yeah,
situation.
they say that he is probably in a desperate situation. They
Mhm.
believe that he hasn't really gotten outside of that area in
Okay.
north central Arkansas. But yesterday, someone had called in a tip saying they saw someone in McDonald County,
Really?
and they were following up on it. I believe it was unfounded,
Okay.
but still, if you see anything,
Absolutely.
you contact your local law enforcement. And our bonus story of the week, I was down in Bella Vista this last weekend. I do this little feature. It's called A Place You Should Visit.
Right.
It's summer 2025, and
beautiful.
Pinion Creek Falls at Bella Vista. This is just like 40 minutes away. If you live in Neosho, it's like 25 minutes away. It's so
Yeah.
neat. You just, right there across the border, Lancaster Boulevard is where the fire station is, and on your left, just down a little bit, Pinion Creek Falls at Bella Vista.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they've got these great walking tracks
Yeah.
and bike riding tracks.
Oh, look at it.
You can go get a beer if you go down about a half mile down the
Okay.
trail here. I didn't do that, exercising and
Yeah.
beer, probably not the best
No.
for me, but anyway.
It looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Today's a great day to go
Yeah.
as well.
Pinion Creek Falls, it's a place you should visit on our list this year.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, Shannon, as always, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, time for some Friday birthdays in the 4 states, starting in Lamar with Sailor and Junkers celebrating big number 1 with love from your family. Happy birthday.
Also celebrating their first birthday in Bentonville. Happy birthday to Leo Neva. It says happy birthday, love, Gigi, Papa Bob, Uncle Tanner, Uncle Mia, and Mama.
And we've got Audric Allenbaugh celebrating birthday number 7. A very happy birthday to you.
And we have twin birthdays today in Pittsburgh celebrating their 17th birthdays. Happy birthday to Ava and Cannon Lockmiller.
And in Miami, Tyler Bellard celebrating birthday number 22. Says, happy birthday, dude. We love you. Mom, Jess, Grandma, and Pa.
And happy 25th birthday to Haley Brumbach in Cherokee.
And in Columbus, Kenzie Clark Gerber celebrating birthday number 28. It says, happy birthday from all of the family.
And in Pittsburgh, a happy, I lost my spot here.
It's all right.
Birthday to Mindy Prophet,
Yeah.
turning 41 today. Nice little throwback photo there. Happy birthday to Mindy in Pittsburgh.
I've done that once or twice. When these lists get long, which we like, it is easy to lose your place. We've also got Amanda Beard in Columbus celebrating birthday number 45. Happy birthday.
And happy birthday to Danny Dunbar, turning 68 today.
And over to Gerard. A happy 69th birthday to Peggy Jones.
And happy 9th anniversary to Richard and Linda Jameson in Pittsburgh.
And we've also got Mike and Julie Riebel celebrating their 34th wedding anniversary in Iola. Says, love you from your entire family and friends.
And a happy birthday to Craig Rennie in Columbus.
And we also have Trish Carroll in Columbus celebrating birthday number 68. Happy birthday.
And in El Dorado Springs, a happy birthday to Susan Payne, turning 68 today as well.
And another anniversary with the party in the bus for David and Mindy Eddington celebrating their 28th anniversary.
And last but not least, happy birthday to Bill McCumber.
All right, another fantastic list of birthdays and anniversaries. And of course, if you would like to celebrate with us, you've got to send them to us, and Elise knows where you need to send them.
Yes, please submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMNewsNow.com. Be sure to include those photos and messages to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen. And to also please include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
And of course, that's very important information. I've got some important weather information for you as well. But if you're ever bored, and I think we've talked about this before, you should just sit down, open up Google, and type in something like, why does my husband? And then look at the top suggestions. You will be easily amused. Well, I'm easily amused. You should be amused as well. You might not be, but it's interesting, some of the suggestions. Here's what we've got. Our suggestion to you, of course, is to drive carefully. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. Watch out for patchy areas of suddenly reduced visibilities as well, because we have some fog out there. Craig, Ottawa, Delaware counties in Oklahoma, Benton County in Arkansas, dense fog advisories through 3 a.m., through 9 a.m. However, as you can see on the fog tracker, we've got it spreading up into southwest Missouri, kind of almost along and south of I-44. So Mount Vernon Vernon, Anderson, Cassville, Bentonville, Grove. Reduced visibilities out there. And Cassville, you were at 0. Bentonville, you're at 1/10 of a mile. But really, 1/10 of a mile, it's pretty much 0 visibility anyway. So you've got to slow down. You see these darker patches here. So that's impacting parts of I-44 East, I-49 South, US 60 East, and every highway in between down there. You've got to be careful and watch out for those rapidly changing visibilities as well, because you get in to the Ozark Mountains, you start getting into those highs and those lows. You may have suddenly good visibility here, and then you drop back down into a valley and your visibility drops. So just be safe and be smart while you're traveling. Then you've got to, unfortunately, be smart and cautious tomorrow as well, especially into the afternoon and evening hours. We do have some thunderstorm chances. These are those pop-up storms we talked about. Yesterday, they had almost gone completely away from future track data, but overnight and into this morning, that's changed, and unfortunately, it looks like there might be just enough energy for some strong to low-grade severe storms with them as they initially begin to develop. So our western counties, we could get up to maybe some quarter-size hail, and then we have the possibility of 50, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts out there. So what does that look like? Today, it looks great, and we're going to get to Saturday in just a moment, but into the afternoon, we go just a few clouds here or there. Temperatures warmer, winds out of the northwest, which means it's not bringing in any, muggy conditions or anything. It is an absolutely beautiful day. Clear skies overnight, calm winds overnight, and cool temperatures again. We're looking at the possibility again of some patchy, dense fog overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind. Now, the first half of our Saturday looks great. We go all the way to noon. That was 5 a.m. where we stopped just then. Now we're at noon. Looks good. See, we're already warmer, though. We're near 80 by noon, and here's a couple of clouds out in parts of Greenwood, Elk, Chautauqua County. That's going to be setting the stage. So after 2 p.m., starting again into southeast Kansas and eventually into the evening, spreading eastward, mainly south of 54, we could see some of these showers and storms. So by 3, 4, and then 5 o'clock, see these storms here, Chanute, Parsons, Coffeyville by 5. Some of those could be packing a little bit of a punch with some of that hail and those gusty winds. So we want to keep a close eye on that. Those storms will continue to push off to the south and east by 7. We've got Nevada down toward Lamar, Joplin, Miami, and near Veneta back into Nevada as well. These storms, as you can see, they don't look as impressive by 7 o'clock Saturday evening, but nonetheless, that lightning's dangerous, and I know people want to get out this weekend. We didn't get to really last weekend, but you've got to be cautious this weekend as well, at least for Saturday. Then we could get one more round of some thunderstorms that'll stretch again from near Fort Scott, back through Parsons, Chanute, back toward Newada, south of Bartlesville, and those will roll to the east. And here we are by 11. We've got those storms now mainly into the Missouri side of things and back in northwest Arkansas. And then they will clear out, and as we roll into our Sunday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and temperatures once again warm. Sunday looks fantastic, and I didn't want to emphasize that part for you. Looking pretty good for Sunday. Getting our day started, just a few clouds again, some of that patchy fog, upper 50s by 8, near 70 by 11 o'clock this morning. Mid 70s today, so maybe some upper 70s for our highs. As I mentioned, clear skies tonight, but on the cool side initially, back into the low to mid 50s. And I wanted to touch on next week real quick too. Possibly late Monday night into Tuesday. This is a big if, but we're looking at some thunderstorm chances then. Some of those might be strong if they develop. But Tuesday, as we roll into the afternoon and evening hours, we're looking at more widespread thunderstorms out there, as some of those could be strong to severe. Wednesday, we clear out briefly, and by late Wednesday afternoon, evening, and overnight, more showers and storms build in, and those will continue through Friday, as some of those could be strong, potentially severe as well. Now, at this point, we still only have along and west of 69 highlighted for that severe threat Tuesday, but it is something starting Tuesday through next Friday that we need to watch very carefully over the next several days. That's a quick check of your forecast. We're going to have a look at the news you need to know and another look at your forecast here in a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., or if you hang out with us here on KOAM Plus, we are going to tell you about a group of Minnesota students working together to help their fellow students with disability.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities respond to a car crash on Kafer Road yesterday. According to witnesses, the mail carrier lost control, hydroplaned, and flipped over. The daughter of the driver confirmed her mother was transported to an area hospital for evaluation. A warmer and drier weather could send more boaters and fishermen to the lake this weekend. On Table Rock, they'll face floating and unseen dangers in the water. Floating and underway debris make it too dangerous for smaller vehicles such as jet skis on the water. It's best to take it slow and be aware of the damage limbs could cause to your vessel. And just a quick heads up to our viewers, due to tower maintenance, KOAM TV, Fox, CW, and MeTV plan to be off the air today temporarily. We apologize for the interruption, and our engineers will have us back on the air as soon as the work is complete. You can continue to follow our news coverage at KOAMNewsNow.com or watch on the free KOAM Plus TV streaming app. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
As you head out the door, again, some patchy dense fog along and south of I-44, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, mostly clear skies today, mid-70s, northwest winds 5 to 10. Clear skies through the late evening and overnight hours, so maybe more patchy fog tonight, back in the low to mid-50s. Could get a strong or low-grade severe storm in southeast Kansas tomorrow afternoon with some scattered storms after 2 o'clock continuing out there, so be aware of that. Got a great Sunday, great Monday, and watching that potential for more strong to severe thunderstorms starting next Tuesday.
Coming up today at noon, we're making lemon caper fish fillets in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Brian Jones from our Veterans First joins us in the studio to talk about one way you can support our veterans.
Plus, Shannon Becker back in the studio with his big 3 stories of the week. However, that will wrap it up for us for this Friday. Next time we see you, it will be the unofficial start of summer. We'll be unofficially in summer.
How about
and that'll
that?
be Monday morning at 5 a.m.
Officially in June, but we'll of course see you today at noon.